some people in your restaurant?
Yeah, so I'm at The Ordinary right now. It's our first night. We launched Fig last night, and we're about 50% occupancy right now.
So how does it look like
Which is the
inside?
max.
Yeah, how are people seated? What sort of table maneuvers did you have to do? What's the atmosphere like?
So there are several protocols suggested by our state government to have tables 8 feet apart, no seats closer than 6 feet apart. So basically, like our bar typically has about 20, 22 seats. Right now we have 6 people seated at the bar. It's about, 14 or 18 feet long. So you can imagine it's relatively empty. And then like every other table is full or empty, however you want to look at it. And, but, honestly, going from nothing for the last 10 weeks, it feels like we're very busy.
50% capacity, granted it's not what you want. Frankly, that sounds a little bit better than I might have expected when you hear restaurants talking about maybe 25% capacity, where it becomes much harder, as you know, Chef, to turn a profit.
Yeah, well, listen, at 50% capacity, we're not going to make any money either. But hopefully, we're kind of leaning on the PPP right now, which ours is about to run out anyway. So we didn't really get a chance to utilize the funds the way I think they were intended. And I think most restaurants are having that struggle. We're trying to balance public safety and our financial responsibilities. So, opening up 50% allows us to utilize the PPP to hopefully pay some bills and stay solvent to get back to, to become solvent and pay some of the bills that we left behind when we closed. But moving forward, once that money runs out, which is only 3 weeks away for us, we'll be faced with a pretty steep payroll bill, and our rents and our mortgage insurance, our interest is really going to be kind of difficult for us to navigate. So right now we have a full staff. Right now we have, I would say about 50 people in the restaurant, in both Fig and The Ordinary right now. But once the payroll squarely lies on our shoulders without the benefit of the Paycheck Protection Program, it's going to be near impossible to make ends meet, honestly, at 50% occupancy.
What I hear you saying, and you correct me, please, if I'm wrong, is that you might not have moved forward to opening your restaurant again right now, at least, because you can't be profitable, but you were up against the deadline of having to use the PPP, so you felt compelled to do it. Is my story sound straight?
So it couldn't be more accurate. So what really has happened here for us is we were given the money several weeks ago. I think we're about 8 weeks into it. And so the clock was ticking. And of course, I'm a member of the Independent Restaurant Coalition, and there's a great group of us that have been trying very hard to get some fixes to the PPP, specifically with the peg date of when we can start using those funds. And because there hasn't really been any movement yet, however, there is some conversations right now. Hopefully the 8-week period will be extended to where we can utilize the funds outside of that 8-week window. So like our date where we have to wrap up the intended use for the PPP is June 10th. So after June 10th, we're going to have a payroll burden that we'll never be able to meet at 50% occupancy. However, if we were given some leniency on the dates and the window of which we could apply it, well, then we'd have a fighting chance to get up and running, have the community feel good about it. But I don't think we would have opened it all in the midst of this, pandemic.
Yeah.
If we didn't feel kind of forced to.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's a challenge for certain. We wish you well. We know the struggles that all of you all are going through, and we just wish you the best.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.